to be there when the morning light explodes. On your face it radiates. I can't escape. I love you till the end. I love you till the end. I just want to tell you nothing you don't want to hear. All I want is for you to say, oh, why don't you just take me where I've never been before? I know you want to hear me catch my breath. I love you till the end. I love you till the end. I love you till the end.
Musical chairs. Never. Good afternoon to everyone. The family thanks you for coming out today, not only to mourn the loss of Dale Smith, but to celebrate his very unique life. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dominique Miller, and I've been given the honor of presenting this eulogy for an amazing man and a very good friend. If you have not already silenced your cell phones, please do so at this time, because I will call you out. His wife Kate and I had been friends for some years before I met Dale. When the time came for me to meet our illustrious loved one, I immediately pulled him aside and said with complete and utter sincerity that if he ever hurt her, I would kick his ass. He didn't know me from Adam's house cat, but I'm pretty sure he believed me, and thus a friendship was born. We would share a whiskey and a smoke from time to time, and I will cherish those memories forever. Kate put it best, I think. Dale was a coffee-drinking, whiskey-sipping, sarcastic, grumpy old Irishman. But anyone who really knew him knew he was a big old softy, but you'd never get him to admit it in a million years. Dale was the kind of guy who never met a stranger, even though he didn't much like people. He was kind in a Southern gentleman sort of way. He always referred to people and Kate's parents as sir or ma'am. He wasn't picking on you or busting your chops. You could best bet he didn't like you. Family meant everything to Dale, he especially loved all of his kids, or as he would call them, knotheads. And his greatest loves were his granddaughters Emma and Rowan. They were his everything, so much so that he named his trucking company Emro after them. He was their pawpaw, and he reveled in that relationship with them. And those of you here today that are grandparents, you know what I'm talking about. As I'm fond of saying, grandchildren are the reason we don't eat our young. And no doubt Dale would agree 100% on that one. I was looking through some quotes on the internet, as one does, and I found this quote that I thought Dale would appreciate. Bury me when I die beneath a whiskey barrel in a pub. With any luck, the cask will leak. Dale was born on October 9th, 1969 in Homestead, Florida, to Floyd and Sonny Smith. He was the oldest of 4 children, with his brothers Dwayne, Dave, and Nick. They were his very best friends. All I can say is bless their mama's heart raising 4 boys. You can imagine the adventures they got themselves into. Dale met his wife, Kate, 18 years ago on a dating app. And who says those things don't work? Right? They met up for coffee, shut the place down, and the rest is history. They were a house divided, however. He was an Atlanta Braves fan and Tennessee Titans fan, and she's Boston Red Sox and New England Patriots all the way. Am I right? Many a lively conversation, complete with fun smack talk, was had in that household on game day, I can assure you. And of course, he was a die-hard Tennessee Vols fan. Theirs was a love that had its ups and downs, and while sometimes they could drive each other crazy, let me assure you that Dale loved his crazy 6-foot redhead Irish woman, his beloved Kate, with a fierce and abiding love. As you know, Dale was taken from us by a sudden heart attack. It's really hard to understand why this would happen. So many emotions are running through your head, shock and denial, and a sadness that you will carry in your heart forever. The grief will sometimes make you feel like you can't breathe, can't take another step, can't make it through another day. But you will. 1 minute, 1 hour, and 1 day at a time. Until one day when you think of Dale, your breath won't catch in your throat, and you will remember a happier time and a wonderful memory. The ache will always be there, but the memories will soothe you and make you smile. I found another quote by Stephen Grillot that I thought might fit here, kind of fit with Dale's Southern gentleman psyche. And it goes, I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. You know, Kate and I were talking a couple days ago, and she asked me if I knew what today was. And, you know, I haven't given any thought at all to the date. I thought it was just like the end of March. And she brought to my attention that today is actually April Fool's Day. So we both started cracking up at that, how perfect and ironic it was. And we felt pretty sure that Dale was laughing his butt off somewhere. What a legacy and what a life. I invite all of you to keep Dale alive in your hearts. We were all touched by his presence, and we are better people because of that. We will keep Dale alive by remembering him, telling stories, sharing memories, having a good shot of Jameson now and again. Death leaves a heartache that no one can heal, and love leaves a memory that no one can steal. Thank you for being here and making Dale's life so meaningful. I can promise you that he is looking down on us right now and saying, seriously? At this time, I would like to invite one of his knotheads up, his daughter Ashley. And then after Ashley speaks, one of the other knotheads will come up, her brother Chris.
Now. First, I'd like to take the time to give Dale my own, seriously. For those who don't know me, I'm Ashley. I'm Dale's stepdaughter. Dale was my stepdad, but truly, he was so much more than that to us. I was lucky enough to have his stubborn, sarcastic, caring self in my life for almost 20 years. My dad recently said, if you knew Dale, you had a friend. Dale wasn't an overly emotional person, but he loved so hard. His family was always his priority, and he never missed an opportunity for a cookout filled with stories of his family, his brothers, his life as a young dad, stories of his grandkids, stories of him pestering my mom, his wife Kate, and the list goes on. One thing you never had to wonder about was how much he loved those close to him. Dare I say, he loved us more than coffee, Jameson, and Guinness. He left us far too soon, but I'm thankful to have known him. I'm thankful for all those years ago that he met my mom for coffee. I'm thankful for all the times he put up with us knuckleheads, him being Roberto's Guinness partner, all the next day's forearms from flying Emma around the kitchen. All of the videos he'd send us from the road when he was thinking of us, him getting the family together just to sit around the grill and chat. Emma will miss her flying captain. Roberto will miss his drinking buddy. And I'll miss my bacon thief. We'll miss him more than words can say. And I'd like to ask anyone that's here or watching the stream, anyone that was a part of his life or the family's lives, to please continue to reach out and check in with the coming weeks. The support has been incredible so far and will be even more necessary in the future as we heal. Thank you all for being here in person and virtually. And to Dale, we love you, you knothead. And now I'll bring up my brother Chris. He'd like to say something.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and making time today so we can all say goodbye to Dale together. If you're in this room, he loved the heck out of you, and I'm sure he'd really appreciate you all being here, even if he wasn't much for this kind of stuff. I've been thinking a lot this past week. I didn't get to see Dale as much as I would have liked in the past couple months and years with him being on the road, so I wrote something I would have loved to say to him. Dear Dale, 18 years ago when you first came into our life, I had no idea how significantly you would change our whole worlds. You coined your nickname Grumpy, honestly, but I remember all the fun we had together. You shared jokes, your love of baseball, and your hundreds of stories about your incredible life you'd lived. You made my mom so happy. We met your children, met your brothers, and we made a new family together. And I'm thankful for that every day. You introduced me to so many new things. I remember coming home from school, very often, might I say, to find you on the couch, passed out, watching Lord of the Rings. And I must have seen those movies a dozen times while he was catching a nap on the couch. I remember the first time I got to play an adult video game, Diablo 2, courtesy of Dale, and that would send me down a wonderful path of getting into games. I didn't even ever know computers could do stuff like that. I'll never forget the weekend we spent building a deck together when I was only 13 years old. You taught me how to take measurements and how to run the miter saw, and after that you trusted me for the whole rest of the weekend to run it on my own, and the sense of pride and accomplishment that would instill in me stays with me today and has inspired a life of building and making things. Dale loved to make things with his hands, and he was a very talented woodworker, an accomplished electrician. I mean, if you needed it, he could probably make it. I hope one day I can be the craftsman you were, Dale. You were so much more to me than just my stepdad. You were my role model, my mentor, the best drinking buddy anyone's ever known. You were my dad, through and through. I was lucky enough to have more than one father in my life, and I'll miss you for the rest of my days. I love you, Dale. You were taken from us too soon, and I promise to look after our family with everything you taught me. Rest in peace, Dale. I love you. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite any friends or family that would like to come up and share a memory of Dale, or an anecdote, or something he probably might not want you to know. You know, anything like that. So, please feel free to step up. Okay, well, I'm sure the grief is really sinking in for all of y'all today, and I really don't have any words of wisdom. You never get over it. You just learn to live with it. Thank you all again for coming, and that's all I got. Kate, did you want to say anything, honey? No? Katie? No? Brothers? Okay. All right. I expect stories later, though.